G'day everyone and welcome back to Starseeds and Patriots of Down Under, and a very special presentation and update today, something I think all of us in our community has been very much looking forward to, and I'm sure some of you have already heard about this story that's floating around online, as you've seen in the title, that biosignatures have been detected by James Webb Telescope and a Cambridge University professor of exoplanetary sciences. The plan is on schedule. But for those of you who don't know, let's fill you in today that haven't caught up with this story yet. And it seems as though the unprecedented for the masses has been announced, and it's making its rounds, this story, online, and even I think through mainstream media now as well. So the story is getting traction. Everyone wants a piece of it. But for those of you, as I said, that don't know, these things have been detected, and I think it's important that we need to rehash a little bit of information that was given to us back in 2022 by Dr. Salla, and has also been confirmed by Elena Danaan and certain military sources as well. Okay, and now that information being the so-called plan that was given to General Glenn Van Herk of NORAD at Mount Raven Rock Complex north of Cheyenne Mountain. Which is NORAD, okay? That plan being that was handed down through Thorhan by the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Now, I'm sure most of you know who the Galactic Federation of Worlds are by now, but the information pertaining in that plan was that the disclosure and how it would actually be unrolled to the masses that we are not alone in the universe and haven't been alone from ever since the beginning. Okay, I'm not going to that right now. And how it will roll out publicly. And first in that plan was that all that's happening with Ukraine and Gaza and everything, that's all part of it, etc. I'm not going to go into that. It's not my position to comment or to have any take on that, etc. But the main part I'd like to talk about is the plan, as I said, rolling out to the masses, the public disclosure of us not being alone, and how first would be an announcement, essentially, of biosignatures being possibly detected of possible microorganisms or exoplanetary signatures that show possible signs of life, such as dimethyl sulfate, methane, carbon dioxide, CO2, okay, all different sorts of elements that make up the essential biosphere that would have habitable life within it. Okay, and this is exactly what the James Webb Telescope has done as such with this professor of Cambridge University, professor of exoplanetary sciences, has done and found. Okay, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm actually personally going to play the video for you so that you can see for yourself. Later on, I've also got some slides that I'd like to show you as well. Just a little bit of confirmation from within the circle of disclosure that I'm very lucky to have a bit of privilege to, and lucky to have this friend on my Facebook page as much as I am. He is privileged to be on me be on his, and I have a screenshot of a conversation from a post of this actual story that I posted on my social media platforms a couple of days ago when this came out. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to post this video a couple of days ago when this story came out, so that's why I'm getting to it today. But we have a bit of confirmation from within those circles, a screenshot, as I said, showing that all is on, the plan is on schedule, okay? But first of all, we'll get to the video, okay, everyone? In saying that, let's enjoy, okay?
This is the story of the week for me, this. Imagine being Professor Niku. Professor Niku is an astrophysicist at Cambridge University. Picture the scene. Professor Niku is quietly studying the data gathered on yet another exoplanet, discovered some unfathomably far distance away from Earth. And as Professor, they notice something. This is where the suspenseful music would come in during the Netflix episode of this discovery. The professor stares harder at the data. It can't be, he said. Life? The James Webb Space Telescope is set to turn its gaze towards a distant planet, K2-18b, in another solar system, to investigate one of the most tantalizing hints of alien life ever discovered. This, folks, could be it. And our protagonist, the scientist who may have discovered life out there in the universe, is Professor Niku Madhusudan, Professor of Astrophysics and Exoplanetary Science at the University of Cambridge, who joins me live. Thank you very much indeed for coming on the programme. Right, I think we've got the deeds to your life story sewn up here. We now own the rights to this. Tell us where and when you found this.
So last year's telescope of this planet, its atmosphere, and we detected two in its atmosphere, and did not detect other molecules like ammonia, which said that it's likely to have an ocean underneath the atmosphere. But we also saw a tentative sign of this molecule dimethyl sulfide, which we weren't sure, but still, even the very possibility of it being there is enormous.
So this is dimethyl sulfide.
Yeah,
that's the important gas. And why is that gas so important?
It's important because on Earth, it is produced only from life, mainly from microorganisms in the Earth's oceans. And it has been known to be a robust biomarker if detected in planetary environments. And it had been predicted to be so. And we had been looking for it. And that's why it's super important. So we are not 100% sure yet. It could be anywhere of the order of a part per million. So
is that a lot?
But it's a lot for that particular gas. On Earth, it would be like significantly lower than that.
Oh, really? So we actually have lower amounts of dimethyl sulfide on Earth than could be present on this particular planet. Wow.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow. And what I love is your description, as I've read it, Professor, in one of the newspapers today, of when you found this, when you realized that this gas might be present there. So talk us through that.
No, it's a profound activity, this search for biomarkers elsewhere, because the ramifications to society are enormous. So even if we detect the molecule, we have to be really, really sure that it's there, and we have to be really sure it's from life on another planet. There are many false positives that can happen. But the prospect of that being there has enormous ramifications, because the search for life elsewhere has been one of the longest standing quest of our species, of humankind. So if this is when it's going to come true finally, that's the moment.
I read that you couldn't sleep for a week. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. So for a week, because it hits you hard when you see the possibility of such a big discovery. It for a scientist, it's quite enormous.
This planet is quite big as well, isn't it? Is it 2.5 times the size of Earth, something like that?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. And you think that because this gas is there, oceans are there, and therefore the life that would be giving off this gas will be residing somewhere on some faraway planet's ocean floor?
Yeah, the evidence for the oceans comes from other gases that we have actually detected robustly, the methane and carbon dioxide, and we did not detect ammonia. That combination tells us that it very likely has an ocean. We need more observations to confirm that, but the ocean narrative is very much possible. And then if we detect this gas, you put all of these components together, says that there could be microorganisms on an ocean world elsewhere.
Dumb question, Professor. So you make this discovery, you see this in the data, you think, oh my God, who'd you ring? Who'd you tell? How do you what chain is there to get this to the top of the chain to say, guys, I think I've discovered life?
Well, it took me about close to real and break it to my own group, my own students working with me. So you don't ring anyone, you're just shell-shocked for a while, and then slowly all come together and work on it for many more months weeks and months before we robustly establish it, and then you publish it and so on.
And to the extent that the James Webb Telescope is as we speak, look at this particular exoplanet K2-18b to see what images it can get of it?
Yeah, it just happened this morning, actually. So it has already done it early this morning. So we have the observation in right now. So we're waiting for the data to come to us, and the analysis will start anytime now.
Wow. So how long is it going to take to fully analyze this?
So we will obviously take our time to do very careful analysis.
Do you put the chances of having found life?
I would say 50.
Wow, that high.
Yeah, I mean, that's purely going by what the data has been telling us in the past and what we know from theory. It could be 50-50. It is very high, I know, but that's what the database is.
Again, dumb question, but I think context matters. Have there been other situations, other discoveries where we've said, right, we think this is 50-50, we think this is about as close as we've ever been to discovering it?
And there you have it, everyone. There you have it. From the scientist's mouth, Planetary Sciences at Cambridge University, England. Never outside of our solar system before have they detected this. So this is a world first, and I believe it is all part of the plan that was given to General Glenn Van Herk, as mentioned earlier, which is all part of the rollout towards the public of disclosure that we are not alone. So next, essentially, will be the analyzation of this data that is pouring in right now in the coming weeks and over the next few months. Eventually, they'll release that data to the public to say that they've actually confirmed those biosignatures that is actually at the bottom of the ocean, which is given off by life, microorganisms. Now, the chances of microorganisms or actual aquatic life or anything else, that's next to be desired, I'd say, but then would be the next, once they've actually confirmed that data, I'm sure there'd be the announcement of, oh, we've found life. The next step in that disclosure, as I said, we should rehash and remember, is that then would be the actual announcement is that we've actually made contact. Then after that, the next form of disclosure was actually they've actually made themselves presently known, and they'll be walking, as Dr. Sala has said and notably mentioned to us, that they'll be here walking and talking amongst us eventually. But this is going to take years. But what we can see right now is essentially the narrative building for the public disclosure that we are not alone. And it also shows as well how much we are actually in control of this whole situation, and how much what I essentially call the grand armies of the heavens that shall return at the end of their days, not ours, are essentially the sixth branch US military space force that have been actively working in service and operation for the last better part of 60 years with these guys upstairs, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, which is a conglomerate of many different star nations working together to free our planet from the negative forces that have been here for eons, thousands of years. And those forces, we also know, have been removed since 2023 and have been escorted out of our solar system. Now, I would like to show you now just a quick series set of slides. But just before I do, I'll just quickly reiterate. It's just, let us just remember that information about the plan that was actually given out to General Glenn Van Herk and how this will essentially roll out over the next few coming months to a couple of years, okay? Just keep that in mind, because this essential story is part of that plan, okay? But as I said, I'm going to show you a set of slides. Now, first, I would like to start off with this first slide. As mentioned earlier, I'm privileged to be on a very loved individual that is known very well throughout our disclosure community, that has done miraculous work in bringing about disclosure and truth, and speaking from his own truth as well, and also working with now upstairs, I believe, with these people upstairs at Galactic Federation in bringing about new technologies. That being Mr. Dan Willis. I would like to say thank you very much, Dan. The other day, I put the post out in regards to this actual story on my social media and actually posted it to Galactic Spiritual Informers Conference or Connection conference page on Facebook. That's owned by Danny Henderson. Blessings to you, my love. And it's had quite a beautiful, awesome response, knowing that most people that are on there know about this sort of information. But in saying that, the first person that actually came to the post and commented and liked it was Mr. Dan Willis. And this is what he had to say in relation to the plan as such and how it is rolling out. Now, this is just a response to my post that I put out in relation to this story, but it goes as follows. Enjoy this. Dan Willis, yes, right on schedule. Now, that is not by chance, everyone. Okay? Now, you can see that Dan Willis is right there. That is Dan's picture. That's Dan's name. I've cropped the picture to put out other people's names out of respect for their privacy, and I'm hoping that Dan won't mind me just actually posting this. And I say thank you to you if you don't mind. I give gratitude now, but it shows there that Dan is very much within the circle of knowing how disclosure is rolling out, because he is directly connected to upstairs and also through Elena Denan as well. Okay, and he would know that things would be or wouldn't be on schedule. Okay, I think we can take great solace from this, knowing that the higher up echelons outside of our visual spectrum right now, not so much out of our visual spectrum, but what's out of sight, out of mind, so to speak, is actually in very much control of this whole situation. Now, I'd like to quickly iterate as well that recently JP mentioned on Dr. Sala's latest interview with him that some of these ships like to appear as mist or as a cloud or trying to blend in with clouds as such, but they don't quite fit in. Okay. Now I'm going to give you just a few examples of these, because I believe not only do the bad guys use symbology and signals and hand signals, etc., gestures to basically talk to each other or send messages, but I also do believe that the good guys do this as well. And those of us that have a discerning, intuitive eye, that have an eye to the skies most of the time, like I do, because I'm always looking at the sky, always are posting basically around us. And it's just a matter of whether or not we're able to see that. Now, Elena has mentioned before that Space Force and others like to post in the sky, and I'm going to give great examples of that right now. Now, as you all know, Space Force's logo is this United States 6th branch military patch here, Department of the Air Force, with the Delta insignia in the center, okay, with a planet behind it, okay, and it's a round insignia. Okay, now I'm going to take you back up here. This is how I believe Space Force likes to signal us from above to let us know that they are in control and everything's okay. Okay, now I'm not sure if you can see this. Can you see that Delta insignia in the sky just below the train line there? That's the power line cable for the trains that run here in Brisbane, where I live. Okay, and you can see just there's a Delta insignia in the sky. I'm going to give you a better close-up of that. Hopefully this picture is a little bit better. There you go. See how it's got a Delta insignia? Okay. That was at one particular time that I visited this train station. Okay, and as you can see, this is my Oppo phone, A16s, Starseeds. Okay, that's my phone. And it was taken on 2023, on the 8th, the 30th of the 8th, okay? Now, here's another photo I took. Oops, where is it? There it is. There's another photo I took. Can't quite see the date on that, but it is the 7th month of 2023. That was a month earlier. But can see here, clearly, this Delta insignia in the sky. All right? That's by no mistake. On 2 different months, a month apart from each other at the same train station, I am seeing this particular Delta insignia. This here is from my previous backyard where I used to live. Now, can any of you see there above the power lines there? Can you see the Delta insignia? Let me give you a close-up. And there it is again. Space Force Delta Insignia. And last time I checked, people, clouds don't come with straight lines. Mother Nature doesn't make in straight lines, doesn't create in straight lines. That is one of these particular ships that has the technology and ability to be able to disguise and camouflage themselves as mist or clouds, like JP was telling us about. Okay? Now, I want to just also bring your attention to this particular insignia here. And this is from Stargate Atlantis. Okay, everyone? This is from a scene where John Shepard and Samantha Carter are talking aboard Atlantis out in the Pegasus Galaxy. Okay, now I want you to have a look at Samantha Carter's right-hand side of her flight suit. Okay, a little bit closer, just to give you a little bit more perspective. Can you see it coming in closer now? Here we go. Let's go a little bit closer, everyone. Now, considering that is an around logos around the Delta insignia, that is the exact same, almost exact same insignia logos, Delta symbology as the Space Force logo. Now, I want to remind everyone here, this particular TV show, when I took this photo as a screenshot off my TV, not a screenshot, but just a photograph off my TV, because I saw it and I realized, oh, it's truth in plain sight. This was back, 11 years after the actual TV show had finished. Now, that was 2 years ago. So we're at the 13-year mark now since this particular TV series finished. Now, last time I checked, everyone, this was released 4 years ago under the Trump administration. Would you call that truth in plain sight in this particular TV show 13 years before it was released to the public as this, the 6th branch US military of the Department of Air Force, United States Space Force? I dare say so. It was placement in front of our eyes, which is further credence and proof to the Delta symbology in the sky that I've been showing you, is that these guys are around us all the time and everything is going on around us, whether we see it or not, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Now, here's further examples, everyone, okay, of ships disguising themselves as clouds. Okay, this is taken from a friend of mine, Jamie, over in Wisconsin. Okay, blessings to you, Jamie. This is also, her name is Angel Wings Online. I'll be leaving a link in the description for her particular channel, so you can go on over and subscribe and hit that notification bell and support and show her your love. But Jamie has experiences all the time. She has orbs and all sorts of things on camera, being in her bedroom where she's filming these things herself while she's going to bed. Ships in the sky, all sorts of anomalies and high strangeness, but she is definitely the real deal, and I love her dearly. She's a great friend. But as you can see, this has got a purple hue inside this particular craft, or whatever it is. It's disguised like a cloud, but with a very luminescent, bright light coming through it. Is moving very quickly through the clouds and leaving a trail behind it. Now, that's not no conventional aircraft that I've ever seen. That looks more like the Tic Tac that was playing games with the FA-18s back in 2001, 2002. Here's more examples, as also shown in my previous video. Go back and have a look at that if you'd like, about fishermen spotting mothership type clouds over South Australian coast. See what I mean? How these are all around us, everyone. Here's another fine example. The white ship. Not quite like a cloud, but still, nonetheless. Here's a good one of a mothership in our atmosphere. They call these lenticular clouds scientifically, but I don't believe for a second. This was over Amsterdam in America. Okay? But that's no mistake. That is not a lenticular cloud, and clouds don't make that sort of shape or design. Okay? Now, in saying that, everyone, also, last year at Danny Henderson's conference, GSIC conference, Global Spiritual Informers Connection conference in Florida, Orlando, Florida, last year, they also had ships show up over the top of the hotel that they were able to call in and also provide protection during the conference as well. And just, thankfully enough to others that are able to take photographs of these, and thankfully to Danny as well for allowing us also to post them. I'll be putting Danny's links in the description as well for her channel and for you to go over and subscribe. But thank you to Danny for allowing us also to, for allowing people to post these photos online and share them to bring about awareness. These ships showed up over the top of the hotel in Orlando, Florida last year. As you can see, there is a purple hue in there as well as the white lights. Now these, some might say that these are helicopters or something else up there, but no, I can assure you everyone, these are the real deal ships showing up over the top of the hotel. Okay, and if you go to GSIC this year, which I believe is in Colorado, I believe you will have the same experience again. Okay, but this, people, is the real deal, and you are going to experience one of the greatest conferences on the planet, created by one of the most amazing people, surrounded by some of the most beautiful, amazing souls that have so much courage to share their truth. And I think it'd be very wise if anyone has the money right now to basically invest in yourself and go over and experience this conference for yourself. I could only wish for myself to be able to experience this one day as well. But I highly recommend it because you're going to hear truth from some of the most amazing people in disclosure right now. I won't need to inform you about this because you already know who these beautiful people already are. Okay. But in relation to Dr. Sala's information that I was talking about earlier and the plan that has been rolled out and initiated, I'm going to leave a link in the description for Dr. Sala's latest, one of his latest webinar updates. This was part 1 and there is part 2. I'll leave both links for the description that he left online and uploaded for everyone to watch. These are only a summarized version of the full webinar that was available on his Vimeo. I'm sure you can go over there and actually look at that and view for that, and if you want to check it out. But yes, the information is vital to rehash, I believe, and is very important, especially now as we're approaching these times, and helping you navigate essentially what we're going through so that you can stay calm, in alignment, in heart space, and not be involved in any of the drama that's going to be going on out there, because there's going to be a lot of confused individuals out there very soon. They're going to be showing signs of the stress of not being informed, and that to me is potentially what I would consider to be an Agent Smith, okay, potentially ready to go on the attack to defend what they know, their beliefs, okay, their programming, okay. So it's better to just stay in alignment, help where you can, be of service where you can, be discernful and knowing when to help, where to help, who to help, okay. But if you see within the first few moments of these individuals that are going through this duress and stress of not knowing, and yet they seem to be a threat of any sort to possibly to you, your family, or others, disengage, okay? Because it is best for you. This is not your fight, that part, okay? That is for them to own. You are on your own path. I'm on my path, and it's all part of a parcel of us staying in alignment and bringing about our positive timeline, our Star Trek future. It is most important right now that we actually stay in this heart space, raising the vibration and staying in frequency with the planet so that we bring about this positiveness, okay, and this change that we are all going through, okay. But I think it's very important to rehash that information and take that up and just keep that in the back of your minds so that, it just, as I said, helps you navigate through this coming times as we're approaching them, okay. Been saying that, everyone, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you've enjoyed the slides, just to show you, good examples of how ships like to actually disguise them and how things are going on around us very much at all times, okay, and that these beings are very much in control and working with them, space navies, and are very much going to bring about the change eventually. But it's also, we have to do our parts as well, okay. We are also integral parts of a greater whole. There's nothing more amazing than being a part of something that's greater than yourself, especially something that you can't see but you trust, especially when you trust it in here, okay. It's something that I mentioned in the live chat this morning on Danny's show, is that it's always has to be from the heart, not from the mind, okay. You have to feel your way with your heart. It's like trusting in the force, okay. It's like trusting in the force, and being today, May the 4th be with you all as well. Okay, Star Wars International Star Wars Day around the globe. May the force be with us all. Okay. Oh, almost forgot. One more photo for all of you to check out as well. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot this. Now, in saying that, this logos, right, is connected directly to these people here. Yes, Lady Di, she knew. So did JFK Jr., and so does our president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. And that logos is Space Force logo upside down. And if you turn this up the actual right way, Special Operations Command. That's the logos for Special Operations Command, to show you how much they are in control and how much these people, these two on the left especially and in the middle, are very much alive and well. Okay? They know. Symbology is everything. Not only will it be the deep state and dark hat's downfall, but this is also proof in plain sight right here. Okay? So in saying that, everyone, I'm going to bid you all adieu, and make sure that you all take care of yourselves, stay in that high vibration frequency, and I'll check you all out next time. And just remember, everyone, through struggle, we reach for the stars. Ad Astra, Per Aspera. Take care, everyone.